Welcome back to Dallas Cowboys Breakdown on TimesCheckerNews.com. Andy Newberry here with Jonathan Hull, and we don't have a Cowboy game to talk about, but they did make news. I think last week we were talking about the quarterback change, and they did make it. I thought they probably would. They went to Matt Castle. You wrote about that. You thought it was kind of a desperation move. But
it's beyond
but
that.
But it does. I think it gives the possibility they get some energy going to New York this week.
Maybe it does. Maybe it does energize them by having a new quarterback in there. But
there may be new order in the backfield too. It sounds like Michael may start or at least share carries with Randall.
Yeah, and you know you are seeing the change at left guard as well.
And that might make as much difference as any of these.
Right.
If he's the player, or if he bursts on the scene like Zach Martin did a year ago, then that has a chance to make a difference because the play's been a little substandard there.
Yeah, they're worried about that offense without Tony Romo and Des Bryant. And listen, there are very few teams, if any, in the NFL that could stand to lose their quarterback, their starting quarterback, and their top playmaking wide receiver. The Cowboys are not the exception to this.
Right. We saw that happen, and they didn't even lose Matt Ryan. When Julio Jones was out for a year, Atlanta's horrible.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to have guys like that. Whenever you don't have somebody that you can rely on, that you can just – that's the one thing that's hurt. I mean, people were criticizing Brandon Weeden for not throwing the ball deep and whatnot. Well, it's probably different if he's got Des Bryant to throw deep to. And he's probably throwing the ball a little deep more often.
Yeah. He is a little timid about
he is, but at the same time, do you trust Terrence Williams to go up and win those 50-50 balls?
Yeah,
I don't.
But I mean, Tom Brady would make Terrence Williams look good.
Yeah, well, we're talking about the difference between Tom Brady and a backup quarterback like Brandon
Romo
Weeden.
makes Terrence Williams look pretty good. Yeah.
But I don't know why anybody expects to see Matt Castle come in and do this. Matt Castle has had 2 really good years in his career.
Right.
The first time he had Randy Moss and Wes Welker. It is. He's also played a few more years than Weeden has too. But he had Randy Moss and Wes Welker. I don't see Randy Moss and Wes Welker out there for Brandon Weeden. The year he had in Kansas City,
he didn't have real good receivers in Kansas City.
Dwayne Bowe was actually at his peak, caught 15 touchdowns that year.
He was
Dwayne Bowe was playing pretty well.
He wasn't a big separation guy, though.
No, but he also had Jamal Charles lining up behind him and the best running game in the NFL. Now, the Cowboys didn't have that either.
They got Joseph Randall.
Okay. There, you made my argument for me.
He doesn't leave meat on the bone. Joseph Randall's better than Murray.
Is he?
In his own mind.
In his own mind. But yeah, no, to expect Brandon Weeden or Matt Castle to just be in there and be Tony Romo or to be necessarily even a starting caliber quarterback, I don't think you can expect that. You can't expect that from a backup. No. Nobody in the NFL
I think they'll
get
a pretty good performance this week. I don't think that long term this is like a big deal, but I think it infuse some energy. I think they've got a chance to go win in New York.
Yeah, no, the Giants are bad enough that they
didn't look that great last night.
No, I think if you were watching the Giants-Philly game Monday night, you thought, well, how can Dallas even lose to that team without Tony Romo? Either of those teams, because they're not good. They don't look very good.
Yeah, Philly's getting it together a little bit.
A little bit. They were still sloppy.
I thought that was more the Giants being not very good. Yeah. And then with Beckham's not completely healthy. There are whispers out there that Des Bryant could play. I kind of expect it might be another week.
I do too.
But if he does play, it makes a difference. I think it makes a difference even if he's not 100%, if he's out there.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go into the fourth quarter with a chance to win the game there. And it's a huge win. They really need it because it would give them another division win.
Yeah,
and they're going to need all those they can get with the schedule upcoming, and then they come back. They're going to have Seattle.
Yeah. To Jerry Jones' credit, he made the point that we can't expect to win every game once Tony Romo and Des Bryant are back on the field. You just can't expect to do that. At this point, if they keep losing, that's what they're
putting them in position. So they've got to get a win.
They've got to get a win somewhere.
But I think coming off the bye, it's a big advantage to them, and they've made a few changes. It feels like a fresh start. So I'm going to say they go up there and win. 24-17 or 27-20, something like that.
I think Eli Manning and the Giants will find a way to give the Cowboys a win. Put it that way.
So you got faith in Eli. You believe in Eli.
Faith in Eli
both, right?
and Tom Coughlin. So that's how it is.
Well, thanks for joining us. Next week we'll come back and see how the Cowboys did up there.